We got less than a week, Broncos country, till we finally figure out who our new running backs are going to be. I'm going to be breaking down 7 guys that I feel like are pretty slept on, underrated when it comes to a very, very good running back class. And particularly why I feel like they're slept on, why I feel like they would be good fits for specifically our Denver Broncos. But of course, let me know your thoughts. Smash that like, subscribe, join the conversation in the comments. But we're just going to dive right into it. Going to be talking about 7 guys that I feel like aren't getting the love that they deserve. And let's get into it, shall we? So, the first guy, there are a couple guys that have kind of been talked about in the third round. Most of these guys are after that, but we'll start with the guys that are kind of seen as like second, third round guys, probably more so third or fourth round guys. RJ Harvey. I really, really like RJ Harvey because I think he's got good patience. He's got great acceleration once he hits the hole. I feel like good vision. Also, a good receiver. I think he would have logged more than 20 catches had they had somebody else there at quarterback that would dump it down more than choose to scramble. But a dynamic back, very athletic. He reminds me kind of his twitchiness or his kind of short distance agility, kind of in the hole or taking on linebackers. Kind of reminds me a little bit, of Barry Sanders in some ways. Of course, I'm not saying he's Barry Sanders. Hopefully, you guys understand what I'm trying to get at. But very elusive. You see that elusive rating at 122. The one kind of knock on him, or probably the biggest knock on him, I would say, is probably his age, which is why I don't think he's going to be going in the second round and might even fall out of day 2 just because in this class, you might want to go with a younger guy there with your third round pick if you're going to be using that on a running back. But 5'9, 208 pounds. Um, I think he's very good at forcing missed tackles as well. Yes, give me some RJ Harvey. Missed tackles or forced 69. That was tied for 13th in the country. So only 2 drops on 29 targets. I'll take that. That's totally fine. And a guy that I think can be successful in both zone and gap schemes. I really do like RJ Harvey. I think his upside is a starting back in the NFL. And I think that's great to get a guy possibly early day 3 that has that kind of upside. Look at the yards after contact per attempt, 3.88. I'm a big fan of RJ Harvey. I'm also a big fan of Damien Martinez. And just so you know, these 7 guys, I'm not necessarily ranking them, just kind of somewhat going in order based on where their draft capital is, perceived draft capital. But anyways, Damien Martinez is another guy that could be there in the third round. And I think, hey, if he hits, he turns into somebody like Marshawn Lynch, which I think is really, really exciting. Now, will he reach that potential? We'll have to see. I think he was underutilized at Miami, only 160 carries, but he's a guy that can fly. 6 feet, 232 pounds. I think he has great speed for his size and only 21 years old. He absolutely crushed it at Oregon State the 2 years prior to transferring to Miami. He's a guy that, yes, needs to work on his pass protection, but you can't teach 6 feet, 232 pounds with speed. I think he's got good hands, could have been utilized in the passing game again more if, again, it's Cam Ward. So you can kind of understand why he's not necessarily checking down a ton. But I think a guy that has a starting running back skill set, and I think there's still room to improve. Again, a guy who I think can fit both zone and gap schemes. Look at this right here, yards after contact, 4.51. The dude's absolutely a tank. And yeah, RJ Harvey, Damien Martinez, I feel like they can both do well at running in those short distances as well. But let's talk about a guy that I feel like has true home run speed, a guy that I think is getting kind of lost in the shuffle, maybe because he's slightly a smaller back. Actually, no, he's about the same size as RJ Harvey. Maybe that's just the perception, right? Jarquez Hunter out of Auburn. This guy has serious speed, man, and I love his acceleration. Specifically, RJ Harvey, Jarquez Hunter, some of these other guys, they have fantastic acceleration. Once they stick that foot in the ground, find the hole, they can get through the hole very, very quickly. Jarquez Hunter is a home run hitter, and we need home run juice in this backfield, no doubt about it. At Auburn this past year, 1,200 yards, 6.5 yards a carry, 21 receptions for 155 yards. Again, has great grades in both zone and gap. Look at that elusive rating, 142.5 yards after contact, 4.1 missed tackles forced, 59. And yeah, just an elusive guy. He's small, I guess, but 5'10", 209, so maybe an inch taller than RJ Harvey, around the same size, 22 years old. Okay, his ceiling is limited due to his lack of size and length. But guys, he can take it to the house. He can take it to the house. He can make guys miss. And that's what I am very attracted to with Jarquez Hunter. I think he has, again, just a very nice feel for the running back position, good vision. I think that he would be tremendous get there somewhere on day 3. Let's continue on. A guy that I think is incredibly underrated with the rest of these guys, Trevor Etienne. Now, he's not necessarily his brother. Yeah, not necessarily his brother. But guys like Georgia, yeah, maybe they didn't live up to expectations this year, winning the national championship. They're not winning the SEC championship. They're not in the college football playoffs, making a run without Trevor Etienne. I think he was a huge integral piece of their success over the last couple of years, and definitely this year as well. I just think he has very good feel for the position. I think that he's, again, a guy that can make linebackers and safeties miss in between the tackles. He's a guy that I think runs really well, even though that he's like a smaller guy. I think he runs really well in short yardage situations. 5'9", 205 pounds. Good receiver as well. Again, I think he's got enough straight line speed to hit home runs, so to speak, in the NFL. Yards per contact, elusive rating are as high as the other guys, but I think Trevor Etienne, he's slept on. He is slept on. Put him in an offense with Bo Nix to where, hey, you're getting him the ball in space very, very quickly. I think he can be an absolute nightmare for defenses. Look at this, 32 receptions on 33 targets. I think he only had 1 drop. Yeah, I will take it. No doubt about it. I like Trevor Etienne on day 3. No, yeah. Deep sleeper here. We talked a little bit about him yesterday. Jacory Croskey-Merritt. He only played 1 game at Arizona because after his game where he absolutely tore up New Mexico, which is where he was at previously, the NCAA said he didn't have eligibility because of years ago at New Mexico where he redshirted and then they gave his number away to somebody else. And so I think there was a big mistake by the NCAA saying, hey, well, we see this number in the box scores and all this, so we're not granting you eligibility. It was a mess. It was a mess. NCAA idiots. But this guy was the offensive MVP of the Shrine Bowl. He had a fantastic Shrine Bowl. Not a lot of tread on the tires, as you could see. Only 13 carries this year. A little bit older of a guy, 24 years old. That's why I think he'll be there, possibly for the Broncos there with one of their 6th-round picks. But this is a guy, again, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns in the Shrine Bowl, made guys miss, incredibly elusive. And, 8.2 yards per attempt in 1 game. He can do it all. He can run. He's got great vision. He's got hands. Just not a lot of actual time on the field, even though he's 24 years old as of late. This guy's a gem. I like Jacory Croskey-Merritt. Another underrated guy, Jordan James, didn't test the best, but lucky for him, neither did Bucky Irving, kind of a similar back. Maybe Jordan James provides a little bit more power than Bucky Irving, but Jordan James, I like his feel for the position, his patience, his vision, his elusiveness, his agility. He can make guys miss in the box. He can run both zone and gap very successfully. I think that These Oregon backs, they have had success recently, and I think that that's something to take note of. And yeah, Jordan James, all this guy did was make plays, similar to Trevor Etienne. Jordan James was such an integral part in Oregon's run that they had this year. He had a great year in 2023 as well, splitting time with Bucky Irving, but 5.4 yards a carry, 26 receptions. He can kind of do it all a little bit. But I do think he's got nice power for his size, 5'10", 210 pounds. Yeah, maybe not the most athletic guy, but I like his feel for the position. Really like that. And lastly, talking about another guy from a big-time program that could be available with our last pick, or if we get a seventh-round pick, that I think his stock was higher last year probably after the national championship. I'm talking about Donovan Edwards. The dude has straight-line speed. The dude has straight-line speed. He has great acceleration. You can line him up in the slot. You can split him out wide. Again, Michigan's offense has just been very limited. In 2023, of course, Blake Corum was still there. So, only 119 attempts. He's been somebody that still just has plenty of life on the legs, so to speak, because he was split in time, but faced a lot of stacked boxes this year and still averaged 4.7 yards a carry. Again, he can give you some in the receiving game as well. He's just one of those guys similar to Colston Loveland, especially this year, where the offense, the quarterback play really did kind of limit everything with the offense. And man, if he's there in the 6th, 7th round with his type of speed and receiving ability, I feel like he's a guy that could be a diamond in the rough, so to speak. Only 22 years old. That's totally fine. Again, a lot of these guys are a little bit older, aside from like Damien Martinez. But if the Broncos choose to go in another direction with their 1st and 2nd round picks, heck, maybe even 3rd, I think the majority of these guys will be available. And I think the majority of these guys do have the ability to be a starting running back for the Broncos. Now, that doesn't mean we just pass on other guys I didn't have on this list. Don't get me wrong. Like, I still really love guys like Rashard Smith. That's, on day 3. DJ Giddens could be there in the 3rd round, right? Some other guys. But I just wanted to create a list of some guys that we've kind of talked a little bit about, maybe none at all, that I do think could be on Sean Payton's radar. So y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments. Who would you add to this list? Lan Larison, I guess, would be an honorable mention from UC Davis. Tremendous receiver. Could be the next Austin Eckler, coming from a no-name school. So y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll be back again soon. Go Broncos.